Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today we are back in the garage getting ready to resume work here on the Countach Project. If you've been following this project with this vehicle, you'll see that the last things we did is we did the painting and the clear coating on the doors, the engine cover, the hood, the pop-up headlights, and the wing. Had a little bit of a delay before we can now get back on track with doing the body. We had to do some work to it. I also went around it. There was a couple spots where I had redone the fenders that once I sanded down the primer a little bit, there were some flaws still with the blending there. So touched that up, kind of went over the whole body, touched up whatever needed to be corrected, and then went ahead and sanded the whole car down with 800 grit sandpaper, get it nice and smooth, cleaned it off. It's ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to get the car out of here so we can go ahead and put the drop cloths down on the floor, bring the car back in, and then mask off the whole area so we can get ready to start painting. So let's go ahead and get started. The car's been brought in. I have the drop cloth down on the floor, so now I'm going to go ahead and kind of create a box around it, and then we'll go ahead and gear up, start the process. And if you haven't been following this, I'm actually doing these with rattle cans, contrary to what some people are saying is a big mistake. But so far, it's looking good. I'm using a premium automotive grade Rust-Oleum paint. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I've ordered more cases of that stuff, so that way we're kind of shooting for about 6 coats to make it nice and thick, get the metallic really thick. So let me go ahead and put the rest of this up so we can start painting. Just spent a lot of time masking off the entire garage, the floor, everywhere where any of the overspray will go. I did not go all the way up because the car is so low that we're spraying down. I don't think it's going to go up that high. But I got the proper mask. You want to make sure anytime you're doing any kind of painting, but for this video, obviously we're doing a car, you want to make sure that you use the proper respirator. This stuff is very dangerous. It can cause cancer. You don't want to be taking chances. So we're going to gear up with that. And then here's the paint that we're going to be using here that I've shown in the previous videos, the Rust-Oleum. I got 2 cases of it, which should be enough to do the whole car. So we're going to go ahead and shake this up real good. Let's start painting. Okay, let me actually take this off, but alrighty. So we're done. We did a total of 6 coats over the whole body. I'm going to go ahead and get some close-ups here. Check it out, how it looks. Looking at it here, the paint looks very well. Did have to do multiple coats, as we saw, did about 6 coats, because as you could see in the video, as I'm putting the base coats on, it's very almost kind of like a translucent. You got to build it up, but the metal particles in there, as you can see, has a very strong metallic silver now to it, not like your typical automotive silver paint, because this is a high-end custom paint by Rust-Oleum, but it looks really good even without the clear coat yet. Has a really nice shimmer to it. It's going to turn out really nice. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to let this thing sit for about 24 to 48 hours, let it dry really good, and then we'll be back to do the clear coat with hardener spray, and then that'll wrap this up. So we'll see you in about 48 hours. Welcome back. It's been about 48 hours. We let the car properly dry and let the silver paint gas out. Everything is good to go. I've wiped it down to get any fragments off, get it nice and clean. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start applying this clear coat, and I'm using, as we did on the other parts, this Spray Max 2K Clear Gloss 2-part clear and hardener spray. If you want to see a product review I did on this, you can check it out via the link above. But that's what I'm going to be doing here to do this next clear coat. So let's go ahead. We're going to shake this thing up, get it all ready, gear up so we can start applying it on here, and then wrap up this time working on the Countach project. We'll take this off. Everything has been painted, or clear coated, I should say, and painted. So the whole vehicle's done. We're going to go ahead and open up the doors and stuff, let it gas out and vent out. This is strong stuff. Want to make sure that you're using the proper masks for this. However, what we were using was this the Spray Max 2K. What I'm going to do, it's actually looking really good, but it's got a little bit of an orange peel kind of finish to it. So we're going to let it dry real good. We're getting ready to come into the colder months anyway, so I got to kind of put an end to the painting part. Wanted to get it to this point, which is a good spot. During the winter, we're going to work on the suspension, finish getting the pop-up headlights and all the lights in the front, the markers, turn signals, all that all wired up real good. Put the side view mirrors on, get all that calibrated. And then once we get into springtime, we're going to go ahead and sand the whole vehicle down with about an 800 grit sandpaper, get it real nice and smooth, and then I'm just going to give it one top coat of silver and then a final clear coat, probably with a spray gun. This stuff's good. If you want to see the product review, it's down in the description, as I've mentioned already, but it's not bad if you don't have the equipment, but I do have a compressor and a spray gun. So we're going to go ahead and do the final coat with that. It'll be a little bit smoother, and then we'll sand it down, polish it real good, and then put all the details and vents and stuff on it. So we're probably about 85% done with the vehicle finally. So I'll get some close-ups here of the clear coat and paint so you can see how it looks. With the clear coat now applied, you can see how nice that silver is coming through, and the metallic is just really sparkling. But you can also see that little bit of that orange peel texture. If you were doing this as your final coat, you could hit it with a 2,000 or 3,000 grit wet sandpaper and buff this really nice. But as I already mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and do one more coat of silver after we sand this down and then hit it with a spray gun. But look at that right there. That silver is going to look so good. You can see it coming through. And then look at it right here. You see the contours with the ground effects, just really accentuating it. And then we'll have all the black accents and trim going around it. And then here you can see where I modified the roof, how nice that turned out as well. All right, well, that wraps up this time here in the garage working on the Countach project. As you saw, it's actually looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and put the car back together. We won't do that in this video, but next time we're back in the garage, we'll be focusing on more mechanical stuff again. So this wraps up this time. I hope that this video was enjoyable for you. Please send me any questions, comments. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I appreciate all the support. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.